another game and more points dropped. I mean, I know we've got a decent gap at the top of the table, but City have been in some pretty bad form and we've got to capitalise on this if we want to win the league. And although some people think a draw against Brentford is good, and to be fair, they were 9 games unbeaten, now 10, I just think we should have won this game. After dropping points to Everton, I think it was a perfect game to bounce back. But moving on to the goal we scored, Trossard, it looks like he was the better signing and he's going to be better than what Mudryk would have been, because so far he's proven it and he's been brilliant. It's not only the goal he scored today, but we've seen little glimpses of this throughout the past few weeks. His positioning to get into that spot was amazing and Saka's ball was even better. So I am happy for Trossard, and it's good we got competition down on the left now with Martinelli as well. I would still start Martinelli against Man City, but Trossard's really putting in a shout, to be honest. Moving on to the Brentford goal. Now, I don't get how this ain't ruled offside. For me, it's offside. I think there's loads of things wrong with this. You can see Norgard's off, and I think he's interfering with play. And I think if this was Arsenal, they'd be looking into this more, but I just don't know. Something don't seem right with this, and I don't think the goal should have been given, in my opinion. This ain't me being biased. It's just a clear offside. But to be honest, they deserved the goal. I mean, for that goal in particular, or their only goal they did score, the defending was shambolic. I mean, they had about 3 headers where they headed it up in the air and no one, we were competing for it, but we wasn't at the same time. We were just nowhere near them. And it reminded me of when we were bullied in the first game of the season last season. And I mean, Brentford clearly deserved to get that goal. I mean, Tony missed this sitter, and then I don't know how Brentford never scored this, so they were knocking on the door, to be honest. Don't know about other people, but Nketiah is really annoying me at the moment. I mean, there's moments where I say I don't think he's good enough, but then the following week he'll go and prove me wrong. He'll probably prove me wrong against City now, and I hope he does, but I don't know what it is with Nketiah. He's like really hot, and then the next minute he's like really cold. Like, I don't get it. Like, he have really good games, but then the games where he's bad, it's just bad, like really bad. And I mean, today he was just awful. I don't know what it is. I really don't. And I really want to like Nketiah, but I feel like he's so inconsistent. I don't know if he can be at Arsenal's level, if you get me. But it is hard because he's been amazing this season. He was at the end of last season. And as I said, when he's good, he's really good. He's probably shown this season that he can match Jesus' quality. I mean, the goal he scored, I think it was against West Ham, when he spun the defender and put it back post. Just a brilliant goal to get that late winner. But again, today I just don't think he was good enough, and it really frustrates me watching him sometimes. I just wanted to touch up on this as well. Martin Odegaard, what a captain and what a leader. He sets by example all the time. And I mean, even when the game had ended, he was the last player to leave the pitch. He made sure he went to every single corner of the stadium to thank the fans and clap to them. And I just think this is something little that probably all the players should do. But again, he sets by example, and I think he's just such a great captain. Moving on to Arteta now. I was Arteta out, and again, I don't really want to jump onto Arteta in because don't know, there is that uncertainty, and I don't think this season the Premier League's been that great, to be honest. I think a lot of teams have been very poor, but nevertheless we've capitalised on that, and he's proven a lot of people wrong, and I think the football is a lot better, so I will praise Arteta for that. But in today's particular game, I just think we struggled in the first half. We might have had more possession, as you would expect, but Brentford had the better chances, and against Everton, they seemed to really, suss us out a lot during that game. Like, they got it spot on, the tactics and everything. They closed our midfield down, they didn't let us have anything. And it seemed Brentford kind of did that as well, in a way. And yeah, as I said, they made the better opportunities, as I spoke about earlier in this episode, but I do think Arteta in the second half, looking at how much we struggled in the first half, should have made those substitutions earlier. I think Trossard probably going to come on earlier, to be honest, but I think it weren't too bad a timing, and I think Vieira should have come on earlier as well. Because for me, I don't think Xhaka was that good that game. And I mean, look, Xhaka's another player I think that's had a lot of hate in the past, but I just think he weren't that good this game. So for me, I think though we would have lost a bit of defensive stability, but we still would have had Partey. And I think for the positions that Xhaka gets into, like getting up the pitch and getting into our forward line with Nketiah and that, I think we could have probably risked bringing on Vieira, because for me 2 points dropped is basically 3 points dropped. I think we had to go all out and try and get the win if we're going to stand the title race. And I think Vieira would have brought a lot more attacking threat to our team. And I mean, we saw it last time we played against Brentford. I'm not saying we should have brought Vieira on because he did well against Brentford last time, but we've seen it with Vieira multiple times that he's played, that he can create opportunities, and we needed that in that game, but we just couldn't find it. And I mean, when Vieira come on, I think he couldn't really find his feet quick enough because it was left so late. Trossard come on and did brilliant, and again, that was a good substitution, but it's just, I don't know, we've got to find something. It's like when we're struggling, like I just said, you have to find something and you have to change something. And I think when he brought Trossard on, he did tell the others to, shoot more, because we wasn't shooting enough, and we definitely saw a change and we ended up getting a goal eventually from it. But I think I understand we never had a lot on the bench really option wise, but that's why I think was Jorginho a great signing, because I just don't know. I mean, he ain't going to bring a lot to the club, and I don't think he's better than Xhaka. It's a tough one, but even if so, we took Gabriel off and brought Rebolden on and just got him up the pitch more and hoofed in the box and tried to get a header or something. Something had to change that game, because Brentford were just we were playing to Brentford. Brentford were loving it, and for them, that's a massive point gained, and they're now 10 games unbeaten. I just think we could have done something. I know it's very easy to say, but I just think we could have done something different to, get the win, even if that was taking risks and trying to go more attacking. But that's not me hating on Arteta, and at the end of the day, Brentford are a good team, so we do have to look at it from both ways. But as I just said, I'm not trying to hate on Arteta again because we're dropping a few points. I'm still backing him at the moment, and I will to the end of the season, because he's doing really well and we're going to get Champions League. And at the end of the day, that's what we wanted at the beginning of the season, Champions League, though we should have got it last season. And yeah, no, I just thought I'd do my match reaction. I haven't done one of these videos in ages on the channel, so yeah, hope you've enjoyed, and maybe we'll do more in the future.